Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. It's going to be a nice day here across the area on our Tuesday. It looks good. It's going to be hot and sunny. We're going to be dry today and really throughout the week. Very few changes ahead in this forecast. You know what? Actually, I was getting into all this. I want to actually start in the tropics, and I don't have the tropics pulled up in this one, so I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Sorry, bear with me just one moment here. I wanted to put in the latest in the tropics right now, and what we are dealing with is a couple of tropical waves. One that is right about to develop in the middle of the Atlantic, then another one that is just emerging off the coast there of Africa, and you can see those two right there on the tropical outlook. You see the one that's in the middle of the Atlantic, they give it a 90% chance of development, so it's going to develop. It'll become Gabrielle. And then there's that one behind it that's still off the coast of Africa. So here are the two systems. You can see the one that we have marked up for 90% chance development. I'll zoom in on it. It's looking pretty healthy this morning. It's starting to get its act together. So we're about to have a tropical system there. Then, of course, you have this other one that's just now emerging off the coast of Africa. That one looks pretty vigorous, too, but it's so far out. It'll take it almost a week to even get to where the other one is. So it just kind of gives you an idea that is way, way out there. So it's just too early to even really give it much thought. This other one that's in the middle of the Atlantic looks like it's going to stay in the Atlantic. So even if it grows into a pretty good storm, oh well. Bermuda will have to watch it. Bermuda's probably the best prepared place to deal with hurricanes. They do a really good job in Bermuda. It's sort of it should be exactly how the U.S. handles building codes and such, is the way that Bermuda has really good building codes. So, you know, when a hurricane goes by, they usually don't get a whole lot of damage anyhow. So that's what we're looking at out in the tropics. Let me get back into our regularly scheduled forecast and talk about what we got going on back home. So quiet day today, a lot of sunshine, high pressure in place. Now you can see winds are going clockwise around that area of high pressure, and that's driving down those northeast winds for the front of the Appalachians, which has driven down some drier air into our area. And it's been kind of a mixed bag this morning because that dry air moved into the eastern part of our viewing area first, east to 65, the Panhandle. Those areas have really pleasant conditions this morning. Well, it was still fairly humid on the west side of our area, the west of I-65 in Mobile and other areas. It was still pretty humid this morning, but the dry air is going to filter in for everybody as we go through the day. Our dew points will be in the low 60s, which is pretty dry, feeling pretty good. You'll notice, though, in the coming days, it does go back up, and we'll have some humidity return. That will have an impact on our heat index numbers. Today, we don't really have a heat index. I'm forecasting 91 for a high, 91 for heat index high. So no heat index on top of the temperature today, but you can see by the end of the week, 95, 96 on those heat index numbers. We're starting to add a few degrees of heat index on there because of a little bit of humidity. Not like August humidity or July humidity, but a little bit more humid than what we've been experiencing. And then there's the futurecast. I just let it run. No, nothing to see there. Not going to have any rain today. This is becoming a problem because we are seeing ourselves move into a drought. This is the drought monitor, and you can see we are abnormally dry for about 2/3 of our area, about 2/3 of our area, basically west of 65. And there's a small sliver in there that's also of moderate drought, which is level 2. Abnormal is not really a drought. I think it doesn't really consider it a drought so much to get to that level 2 moderate. This will get updated on Thursday. They only update the drought monitor once a week because, you know, droughts happen slowly. No real point in doing these things day by day. But when they do update it on Thursday, the drought will expand across our area, and more of us will be under that level 2 moderate drought. And there may be even some areas that fall into level 3 severe drought by Thursday. So we're starting to see the drought build. And over the next couple of weeks, I don't think we're going to see it go away, at least. So from how far I can see out with the modeling, I mean, there are some chances, some showers next week, but they're not great chances, it doesn't look like. So, you know, we'll see. Here's what it looks like with today. Temperature should be in the low 90s. A lot of sunshine, a real pretty day out there for us on our Tuesday. Trying to remember where we are in the week. 91 is what we're going for in Mobile today. 88 in Pensacola, 91 Molino, 91 Grove Hill, 93 in Chatham. So hot and toasty, particularly north of I-10, where temperatures will be in the 90s. South of I-10, down by the coast, are more like the upper 80s. Areas like Pascagoula and Gulf Shores, upper 80s today. This evening, pleasant. If you got to run around and get some chores done, or maybe you need to mow the yard right before sunset, looks pretty good out there tonight. Pleasant conditions as we head into the evening. And folks, I got to tell you, things are really, really pleasant at our beaches. In fact, low rip current risk. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in because look at that. So this is, let's see, what time I record? It's about 10 in the morning, and you can see the surf zone looks absolutely beautiful down. What a beautiful beach day. And I tell you, folks, these are the type of days where we could have some of our best beach days. I mean, personally, as far as I'm concerned, late summer, the best time to hit the beach. The crowds are down because it's after Labor Day, kids are in school. The water can be fantastic at this time of year. It's very clear right now, about as clear as it gets. So really good conditions there. And also the water temperature. You know, in August, it gets near 90 degrees there in the surf zone. But now in September, it's dropped down to about 83, which is plenty warm enough to swim, but it doesn't feel like a, you know, tepid bathtub when you get in either. So that's nice. And with lower humidity, it means you set up your tent, your umbrella, and you can sit there in that shade and it feels fantastic, especially with a nice little breeze blowing. What great condition. I mean, I wish I could head out to the beach, but I'm not going to have time the next few days. I really wish I could. Missing some of the best beach days of the year. Great for taking the boat out as well. Good conditions there if you want to take the boat out. Here's your long range forecast. And I'm going to go ahead and take this up full screen so you can check it out. Temperatures will be in the 90s for the foreseeable future. Hey, guess what? Next Monday is the very first day of fall. At least on the calendar. Still going to be 90 degrees. So anyway, that's what it looks like. We're trying to wrap up summer, but we just haven't quite wrapped it up just yet. But it's going to be very hot and dry through much of the week. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 10.